Well, Mike Evans is the founder of the Jerusalem Prayer Network, and 2 years ago he opened the Friends of Zion Museum inside the city. Now he's beginning the museum's second phase and telling the world about the unsung heroes of Israel.
Dr. Mike Evans built the Friends of Zion Museum 2 years ago to honor and recognize those friends who have dedicated and sacrificed their lives defending the cause of Jews everywhere.
No one on this planet has done more to bring people to understand the importance of Christian people supporting the nation of Israel like Dr. Michael Evans.
Dr. Evans is excited to see the next phase become a reality, which includes a global training center, a research institute, and a social media communication center, which already has 25 million followers.
Well, Mike Evans is here with us now, and always a pleasure to have you on the 700
Good to be
Club.
back, Gordon.
Well, tell us about the Friends of Zion Museum. Why is it so important to celebrate?
Well, heroes in history. How do you confront evil? By the inspiration you draw from your heroes and your history. And if you don't have heroes in history, you'll cave in. Corrie ten Boom, it's my work in Holland, she stood up and confronted injustice because she had heroes in history. Very important, very important.
Okay. How important is it to communicate that to the people of Israel?
Oh, they're seeing it.
I think that when I share with them, they're just surprised. And
Gordon, there's an unspoken narrative in Israel. It goes like this. The Christians hated us. The Christians persecuted us. The Christians killed us. We built the state of Israel and escaped from them. Let's eat. Now, what did I just say? The Crusaders, the Inquisition, the pogroms, the Holocaust, fake Christians, not real ones. We are telling the story of real Christians. And when Jewish people come through, we had over 50,000 last year, they come through, they say three things. We're not alone, we have hope. Then they say, goosebumps, goosebumps. So they're seeing real Christians that love the Jewish people, and it's a big deal.
All right, you're going up to phase 2 now in the museum. What's involved with that?
Friends of Zion Heritage Center. Israel cannot win the current wars. The traditional wars, they can win them, no problem. But how do you win a proxy, an intifada war like the Temple Mount going on right now? Oh, now let's talk about other wars, wars that you fight, Gordon. Spirit wars. This is an intercessory ministry you have. How do you win a spirit war? How do you win ideological wars of ideas? How do you win economic wars like BDS? How do you win communication social network wars? We're building a center. We're building a communication center, a social network hub. By the way, yes, we have over 26 million now. We're growing by 80,000 a day. And our goal is 100 million. We've got 4 million in a Muslim country, Indonesia. So we're building to communicate with millennials. Millennials don't watch cable. They tend to not watch cable.
Yeah, they're cord cutters.
It's their smartphones, and they don't read newspapers. So 40% of the Arab world's millennials. So we're a communication center, a research institute, a think tank, and an ambassador institute, all around mobilizing our people throughout the world. Christian believers. You know, there's 1 billion of them, evangelical Bible believers across the world.
Okay. What's your goal here? What's the whole purpose of the museum?
Light, to be a bright light. You know, Gordon, my mother was an Orthodox Jew. I was named after my great-grandfather, Rabbi Mikhail Katz-Nelson, who was burnt to death in his synagogue with Shimon Peres's grandfather, who was the cantor rabbi in the same synagogue. 2,000 Jews were burnt to death in that synagogue. My mother told me as a kid, Christians kill Jews. Christians hate Jews. Jesus died, don't dig him up. My mother never saw a real Christian, and she only saw anti-Semites. And by the way, my father was one of them.
Oh, wow.
He went to church every Sunday, Gordon, but he strangled me at 11 and left me for dead in my own dried vomit because he thought my mother had an affair with a Jewish man. And I cried out, why was I born? And the moment I cried it out, Gordon, I knew the answer. I couldn't defend my own mother against a Jew hater. And God said, I'm going to give you a nation of Jews to defend. I'll turn your pain into power, purpose, and passion. So my obsession, my call is to defend the Jewish people and to be a light to the nations. You know, it's prophecy. And you can preach it or you can live it. I have a wonderful honor and joy of living it. And you do too.
Let's look at the current situation with the Temple Mount. It just doesn't seem to be solvable in the natural. When you look at it in the natural, how can there ever be peace?
It can't be
there?
solved in the natural. It can't be. Listen, I was at the Madrid Peace Conference, and nobody would look each other in the eye, Gordon, because there was unforgiveness. In the hearts, there was unforgiveness. You're talking about a deeper problem than politics. And we understand it as believers. This is a spirit world. There's principalities and powers. We have to be light. We have to battle against these things because, you know, people are being gamed. Systems are being gamed. Governments are being gamed. And they don't even know what's going on. And they're pulling the strings. So we believe in what we're doing. We believe that believers have something to give and something to share. And we want to strengthen the Jewish people. We want to stand. Listen, if the 10 booms could do it. Casper, old man, you can die in your bed if you promise us not to save another Jew. Casper looked the Nazis in the face and said, the next Jew that knocks, I will gladly bring in. I would consider it an honor to give my life for God's chosen people. Well, that's integrity and honor and courage and inspiration. I want to have it, Gordon. I want to have it for my son. By the way, my son, Michael, says to me, Dad, the greatest hero of my life is you. The greatest hero. I didn't have that in my father, Gordon, but he has that in his son.
Amen. Well, you can get more information on the Friends of Zion Museum, all by just going to cbn.com. And Mike, thanks for being with us.